Hello everyone and welcome to this pick a card reading video. In this video there will be 3 stacks and you can choose from one or you can maybe be drawn to more than one. But in each there are many signs that are listed on the screen as well as ones that aren't listed that I will say out loud that I think you're getting. Signs in the form of synchronicities. So in this case what I mean is that maybe you'll see like an angel number a lot or you'll just, maybe one of these groups feathers are associated, right? So then you'll get sent feathers a lot or a specific looking feather. So that's just what will be done here today. That's what I already did for picking out the cards. And yeah, let's just get into it. So here is stack 1A, stack 2B, stack 3C. You can pause if you'd like and if you need some more time to figure out which stack you're most drawn to. If you're not drawn to any of the stacks, that's completely fine. This just might not be the pick a card reading video for you, but I have plenty of other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel. As a reminder, everything I talk about and discuss in this video is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Alright, let's get into it. Hello 1A and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The cards pulled here are Knight of Swords in reverse, Temperance upright, and the Eight of Pentacles upright. And then for the oracle cards, most of them, every one of the oracle cards except for the first one have guidebooks that I will read from. But first I'll just say what they say here. So it's successful funding. Your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that you gave the idea, or wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. Butterfly transformation, get ready for a big breakthrough. 37, descendant invitation. And finally, 10, authority. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And then I will read the other excerpt here on the screen because I'll just get that out of the way and then I'll keep referencing that. But we have butterflies, especially blue ones, angel numbers 10, 4, and 8, times 10, 10, and 222, and people entering and exiting your life, offers, promotions, raises, new opportunities that accelerate current goals and passions, intuitive insights when you find time to rest and be still, resolutions and solutions when you don't quote-unquote force it. Focusing on the present moment lends the best results, and asking for help every once in a while will allow for stagnancy to break off. And then just to make sure so I don't have to keep leaning in, and there's things I have to reference that are not on the screen yet, I'll have my phone pulled up. More so when it relates to the numbers, but okay. Now, it's very clear and obvious to me that a lot of you have been working really hard at something. Likely this involves a career, could involve something that's a side gig that you want to make into a full-time career. But I think right now a lot of you are working towards something in your life. I mean, a lot of you could also try to be self-employed as well. Or maybe you're still in college. There's a big sense that you're working hard towards something though, and the Eight of Pentacles is all about honing in on your craft and being the best that you can be at it, and continuing to improve yourself in that area of whatever your expertise is or whatever you would like for it to be. With the other cards, it indicates to me that even though you're putting in hard work, you are being impatient, or you feel that results are not coming to you quickly enough. And so you would like to see results quicker. And so that's why I think of people who open up small businesses too. It's like maybe at first, well, a lot around where I live, like if you live in the upper Midwest, a lot of people go to the local restaurants and like local shops to help support them. But, a lot of places, if you're new and if you're local, maybe you don't have many connections, you haven't networked very much, then maybe, like, I'm just using this as an example, of course. But then maybe you open up your shop and then you don't get much business and things are really slow and you're like, well, I've worked really hard to make this dream a reality, but it seems like people aren't really recognizing my efforts. I'm really glad that we have successful funding here though, because Spirit is saying that you actually do have the ability to, and even descendant invitation. Descendant usually in astrology relates to, ooh, yeah, usually relates to romantic relationships, but it can also relate to business partnerships. So for a lot of you who are wanting to open up a business, it's good to go to networking events, find people with similar careers as you or similar businesses as you. Um, this is a good idea then too if you're in college to like go into a mentorship program. If you're thinking of going down the path of a certain career, make sure you find one that aligns with you as well if you decide to do that, like a mentorship program or like an understudy type situation. There's a sense that whatever it is, as it involves your career, people are around that want to help you to succeed. And a lot of this could be as it relates to money. And oh, I just had it. Where oh, why did you evade my brain? What was I going to say? It had to do with the money. I think some of you also could maybe just be stubborn with accepting help. There's a sense that you think you need to do everything, maybe some of you by yourself, that you can't accept the help from others. But because of the cards indicated here, if you're not already doing so, it's good to get external help or to tap into the resources available to you instead of just doing everything by yourself, because I see that actually keeping you stagnant, and then that could be bad for a lot of you. So you want to be able to meet with people. Some of you, it's more so just meeting like not a life coach, but somebody who has experience in a certain line of work. Let's say you want to be a doctor, and if you're able to, if you can't do like a mentorship with a certain doctor that you want to have one with, then try to see if there's at least somebody, like maybe there's a specific area of expertise that's more niche. It's hard to find people who do that type of thing. I'm not just talking about doctors, I'm talking about, anybody. So that could be hard. Online community forums could be helpful, like Reddit. And for some of you too, I think you'll need to maybe take out loans and also borrow money, which isn't the most ideal for many people I know. But Spirit is saying that if you want to accelerate your ideas further, like this could also mean advertising your ideas, like paying for actual advertisements. It makes me think of people who do that on YouTube. I don't know how much people click on them, but I think at least sometimes it probably seems to help. But it seems like there's a little bit of maybe stagnancy or just waiting for that big break to happen in your life. And so the butterfly is here to say, hey, a big transformation is coming, but what will allow it to come sooner or even at all for some of you, like maybe it won't even happen if you don't do this, but yeah, getting outside help will be very beneficial instead of being stubborn and just doing everything yourself. We do have authority here, which makes me think that you're really good at, again, just small business type energy, but you're really good at leading, and I think you are really good at doing things by yourself. Spirit is saying that you don't need much help, but you need enough of a push from outside help. Um, and I'm hearing that it will be unrealistic to not get outside help or to connect and network with people. But make sure you don't go in with the mindset of, oh yeah, I'm only like meeting these people so that they can help me. It's also you have to have the mindset of also helping other people push their business out if you believe in it or if you think it's cool, and also forming genuine connections with people, trying to understand what it is other people are trying to achieve. So make sure you have the right framework. You're not only focused on your own wants and needs in your own career path, because I see that the more you're interested in other things, that will also give you inspiration, but also people will see that and feel that and will open up their knowledge to you, because I think there's a lot of newness going around for a lot of you, or you're waiting around for or some of you just don't even know what that new thing is that you need to tap into, and so Spirit is saying other people can help you with any newness and however that applies to you. So I said butterfly on the list there because I mean butterfly was pulled from the Power Animal Oracle deck. Very, very powerful symbolism there. Very much a symbol of transformation and of change. So there are positive changes that I do see coming for you all. You just kinda gotta put your ego aside a bit is what I'm hearing. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and the business partnerships. I already mentioned that. I want to talk about the angel numbers. So The reason I put 10 down, and I put that down first, usually I, like, go in order, but 10 seems like a very powerful number for this group. Will read in the I haven't read it yet, but there's a little excerpt in the Angel Numbers book that I have over here. I'm not gonna put it on screen, but I'll read from that in a bit, but we have 37, and 3 plus 7 equals 10, right? And that also reduces down to 1, so an angel number 1 could also be important to you, but even more so 10, and also we have 10 authority right here. And then let me check because I wanna see if there are any other page numbers that relate to that. Maybe not. Okay, no. I was just checking for the page numbers for the oracle card decks, but I'll just read now because I haven't read it yet, and I feel like let's see what it says. 10. Clear thinking, cleanse your thoughts. Angels are asking you to declutter your mind of things that are not necessary for your forward movement. Thoughts and emotions need to be productive or else they can be problematic. Reflect upon a repetitive thought or emotion you've been having. Ask yourself if this thought or emotion is necessary, kind, and productive. And that's interesting too, because maybe part of the reason y'all are stuck is because with the Eight of Pentacles, people can be stuck in the same routines and doing the same things over and over again. So with this newness, Spirit wants for you to think outside the box. And if you can't do that right now, then Spirit is saying they're talking about those thoughts and emotions. So don't only focus on the logical stuff. I think a lot of you are focusing a lot on logical, rational, everyday things, but they want for you to dig deeper and tap into what you're feeling when you are like completely just like alone, trying to meditate or journal. So I recommend doing those things. Just in case, I'll read number 1, because that's usually about individuality, I believe. So let's see what it says in here. Architect. You have the ability to create. Your world is shaped and altered by your thoughts and words. Right now, you are creating, and the powerful forces of the universe are working with you. Remind yourself of this by repeating the mantra I am the universe is me. So, yeah, the universe wants to work with you, but I think there's just some stuckness that needs to be worked through first. And you need to think about how you can change things up and not only do the same thing. Because that's also where, like, I'm seeing the spinning circles, where it's like you don't want to just go around in a circle. So try to find ways to do new things and to elevate your craftsmanship, I want to say, or elevate your ideas, or put them to action. Don't just think, but put to action as well. That can be indicated by the Knight of Swords too. I think some of you are also maybe just waiting for the right moment to do something. And Spirit is saying that you have prepared enough, so now you just need to take more action, some of you. So, yeah. I think that's actually very pertinent. And then I also wrote down 4. What did I write down for again? I don't think there was wait, was there a specific reason why I did? Oh, well, first of all, 22 is the page number of one of the oracle decks. And 22 is all about being in alignment. Well, 2 is about being in alignment, but also 2 plus 2 equals 4. And also I was just getting the reading and the energy of being a 4. Plus temperance is number 14, and that reduces to 5 technically, because 4 plus 1 equals 5, but I was getting the energy of 4. So I'll read you what that says as well. Foundations. It's time to get back to basics. There are things that, if left under-nurtured, can fall to ruin. Your angels remind you to go back to the foundations of self and take inventory of what is lacking. You can't build yourself up without maintaining all the good work you've already done. Journal today. And I even said journaling. Journal today on one foundational part of your life that could use reinforcement. Yeah, I think some of you too are neglecting the emotional side of yourself and even the intuitive side of yourself. Maybe even the creative side. Let's say even if you have a creative career, Spirit is saying right now the next breakthrough can't happen until you reinvigorate, re-energize your creativity levels, but you can't do that if you're just doing the same thing over and over again. And also neglecting aspects of your life. If you neglect one chakra, if you neglect one part of your life, and it affects everything. So you got to be able to go back to those things. And then what other angel number? I had 8. Because we have 8 for the Eight of Pentacles, and I feel like this tarot card shines above like all the other tarot cards in terms of messaging. So, but you're gonna like this abundance. The energy is limitless. There are forces always flowing and moving through and around you. The ones you pay attention to and open up to will envelop you in their flow. When you see this number, meditate on what in your life requires development and abundance. Visualize energy coming forth to nurture growth in these areas. So yeah, Spirit is saying that abundance is coming to you. You just gotta get unstuck, get unstagnant, you know. Don't be like that. Even though the 8 is the infinity number, you can't infinitely be stuck. You can't infinitely never change things up. Spirit wants you to be able to change things up, do new things. Also I want to talk about the butterfly again. For that, I don't know why I was getting the imagery of blue specifically. People associate with the blue chakra like the throat wait, blue, I mean sorry, the blue color blue with the throat chakra, but also with creativity, like intuitive thinking. There's a lot of creativity tied to that color and even just yeah, the throat chakra. And also when I think of the color blue, it makes me think of not only being creative, but being creative in a way that's emotionally vulnerable. So for some of you, in order to transform and to create more, it just lends to the messaging again, how you need to open your heart up more and be more emotional while doing anything in your life right now, especially as it relates to your career or how you make money. And let's see what else do I have. Oh yeah, there was a big emphasis too on the people who you meet in life. I think a lot of the people who you meet in terms of your career who will help you won't really be long-term people, a lot of them. I just think it will be a lot of people who are, you know, everyday people and people who don't necessarily want to like be but I don't know how to explain this, but it's not about like making connections that are lifelong. It's about making connections that are important in the moment is what I have to emphasize for a lot of you, especially as it relates to how you network, how you meet people within your field. Okay. I don't know why, but that was popping up for me when I pulled the cards. Yeah, and new opportunities that accelerate current goals. It seems like you should focus on the goals you already have instead of making new ones, but I think a lot of you already resonate with that. And yeah, don't be impatient. Focus on honing in on patience, honing in on stabilizing yourself now so that you're not if you're unstable now in any areas, if you keep charging forward, then it will allow things to crumble later on. So, yeah, I'm seeing like ancient Egypt, like them trying to build something and then it just gets crumbled because they tried to rush the process or they were not thinking clearly because they were thinking too much about other things, you know? That's what I was getting at. Yeah, and things will come easily to you when you don't force it. Yep, so I already had said that. So let's go into the guidebooks now. We have butterfly transformation. Get ready for a big breakthrough. It's very possible to go through major changes calmly and willingly when you view them as natural and hold relentless positive expectations. Whether in the darkness before the storm of emergence, the process of coming out of the self created cocoon, which occasions some struggle at times, or the full and glorious expression of the new you, it's faith in the wisdom of Great Spirit and your conscious resonance with Source that will be your guiding force. There's no need to identify with or feel constricted within the cocoon or by the darkness before the light. It's only a phase. So, yeah, some of you maybe haven't. Oh, I guess I had already said this, but it's some of you maybe just haven't put enough action toward your goals. Maybe you've done a lot of mastery of certain skills and a lot of planning, but you haven't actually taken action yet. Maybe you keep delaying taking any action. So, Spirit is saying to, for some of you, even though I said to be patient, some of you have been too patient. So just resonate with some of you will resonate with one message, some with the other. I think it could. I mean, it could be both, but think about which resonates most with you. The truth is that you're birthing each and every moment. Yet sometimes there are larger cycles that incorporate so many unexpected twists and turns that it can, at times, seem momentous and frightening. You may feel scattered, uncertain, flitting from this to that, with seemingly no thread of continuity that you can grab hold of. It's worth it to pause at those times, enjoy the richness and beauty of it all, and have absolute trust that this is a natural progression for your soul's development. What is coming to fruition? Wait, before I flip the page. Okay. Yeah, enjoying the present moment. So enjoy the journey, not just the outcome. Okay, what is coming to fruition each and every time is more and more of the true self that is your destiny. Additional associations: rebirth, vibrancy, reincarnation, and colorfulness. Yeah, colorfulness especially I think relates to a lot of you, adding that judge, adding something new, adding something different, all that. Let's go to 37, Descendant Invitation. While the ascendant describes how you enter the world, the descendant is a place where you invite equal others to come into your world. It describes how you see these peers, what you project upon them, and what you were trained to respect in them. The descendant is where the sun would be at sunset. Action: look at how you invite others to dance with you, to relate. Be welcoming while also keeping healthy boundaries in place. Once you feel comfortable about your ground rules for the people you bring into your life, it is easier to open your heart. If you notice that you keep people at a distance or avoid meeting new people, investigate this habit. Though it might have been important to protect you at one time in your life, consider how it is working for you now and what would help you feel safe enough to open this door. Also, notice in what areas of your life you ask other people to do your work for you. The descendant can point to what you might try to import from other people. While this practice can refer to an important skill in a work situation, it has its dangers in a personal relationship. If you feel disempowered, you might be drawn to powerful people. If you're an extrovert who inwardly craves emotional and spiritual intimacy, you might draw in someone who helps you cozy up at home. It's wonderful when others can help you develop latent characteristics within yourself. But if you ask them to do this work for you and they leave, there goes your resource. If you see them as only an extension of yourself, you can't really see them. When you develop your own resources, you can see these others as whole beings with their own needs and gifts. That's interesting. Some of you maybe then will feel more too reliant on other people. I don't really get the sense of that, but just be careful of that. And also, yeah, try not to compare yourself to other people as well. I think that's part of what's keeping y'all stuck is the comparisons. Challenge: you give your power away when, instead of working together, you ask others to be what is missing in yourself. Gift: tend the inlet to your heart. Invite in relationships that are clear, healing, nurturing, self-responsible, and encouraging of mutual evolution. Yeah, encouraging a mutual evolution. That's the perfect way to describe this. It should be a give and take, not give, give, or take, take. You know what I'm saying? For any people you network with or you meet as it relates to your career in some way. And then we have 10, Authority. The word authority has mostly been used to describe the powers that rule, govern, lead, direct, control, and protect. It has, oh, okay, I'll remember after to look up 22, I forgot. It has also been closely associated with the powers that dominate, suppress, enforce, demand, and scare us. Authority is about power. True authority is generated by maturity, knowledge, wisdom, experience, and inner balance. And some of you just need to work on that inner balance a bit too. This kind of power comes from within, where it is deeply rooted in a solid connection to Source. Externally, this power expresses itself as presence, the ability to be completely in the moment, with full awareness of every aspect of oneself, all senses fully engaged, while being completely centered in the heart. Internally, this power steps back to witness, allowing us to perceive and discern without attachment. From all this, a new form of authority arises, one that leads, shares, directs, and conducts with benevolence, grace, compassion, wisdom, and integrity. This kind of authority inspires trust, creation, collaboration, and partnership. Wow. It is receptive in nature, and there's a lot about collaboration here. That's amazing. It is receptive in nature and expresses the journey inward, where connection with self and source become one. Green represents the energy that abundantly flows from the heart. Turquoise represents the high heart chakra, sometimes referred to as the thymus chakra, the place where heart and throat energies merge into loving expression of truth. Gold and yellow represent abundance, truth, enlightenment, and self-realization. In numerology, 3 is considered a catalytic number. It stands for an energy that speeds up or creates a reaction between two unrelated things without necessarily changing itself. And there are many 6s in this image. 6 is associated with harmony, love, and balance, as well as with structure, design, and efficiency. Conceptually, circles stand for everything and nothing at all, balance and infinity, purity, and wisdom. Oh, I love that. Circles are so cool, dude. Circles are so cool, and infinity symbols. Oh, love it. That's why part of the reason I love that 8 is my life path number. Anyway, Try this. Close your eyes and contemplate the concept of authority for a moment. How does the word make you feel? Do you consider yourself an authority in certain areas? Are you kind and wise in your guidance of other people? Are you coming from a place of wholeness and balance? See, there's a lot about this balance that keeps coming up. I really love that the cards keep talking about that. So big changes are coming, but Spirit wants me to balance things out so that other or certain areas don't crumble and fall. Oh yeah, and 22 is in here. That's the last page number of that. So let me go to 22 in here. 22, 22, 22, 22. Believe. You are building the life you want. Your angels are in direct communication with you. This number is a powerful message that your life is being created with their divine assistance. You are in a space of high vibrational energy right now. Repeat this mantra. I believe in myself as I grow. Yeah. I think a lot of you do believe in yourself, maybe even a little bit too much, some of you, but now you just need to take action or you need to balance things out and not be afraid to ask for help. So, in terms of like actual synchronicities that you can look out for, obviously Spirit is trying to send you things, but specifically while you're at work or while you're thinking about work, think about the signs that come to you. It could be any signs for you. Also, you could see butterflies quite a bit. Again, for some reason, the blue one, I'm getting a sense. I think for you, you'll get signs from Spirit easily when you're alone. Like, I see you sitting in the dark, just chilling, not trying to think about anything specific, just chilling there and seeing what comes up. Journaling, I think when you're journaling or doing automatic writing, ideas will come to you. If you don't know about automatic writing, it's a way for Spirit to channel through you, so you could look up that. I think you'll get synchronicities in terms of who you decide to associate with as it relates to career or business. And you'll know because of synchronicities you see in those people. Maybe it's like, you meet three people with the name Brad and they're all like in the same line of work. That's just an example. But think of synchronicities as it relates to these people, especially the things they say. Okay. But it could be anything that connects these people to you or these people to other people that you meet, or they could know other people that you also feel drawn to when you all meet up. So really focus on those connections of work and career. And again, while you're at work, I'm imagining that Spirit is sending you signs. So if you're like, I don't know if this is right, or if you're working hard and you're just like, I don't know if, oh, some of you are getting signs that you need to take breaks too, more breaks. But if you're feeling creatively stuck or stagnant, Spirit's trying to get through to you. And so the signs are, again, we do have the butterfly, think of signs with other people, but yeah, I just I see a lot of different kinds of signs that could come through for you if you just are sitting there in the dark, doing nothing. Um, I'm trying to think if I can get more specific than that, like any more specific signs. Again, we talked about the times and the angel numbers, so also look out for those. But yeah, I'm just saying then keep an eye out. That keeps you more present and aware of yourself and your surroundings as well when you're more open to receiving messages from Spirit. Um, is there a better way to word? Like if you're at work, don't try to again, don't be forcing anything. We talked about that earlier. But if you're like working or you're thinking about work, think about what other intuitively like feel in your gut too or wherever you feel your intuition spark. Um, feel and think about messages coming to you, but try not to think too much about work as well. Spirit, I think, has been trying to again send you signs about taking more breaks. I think I'll leave it at that though. Thank you so much, 1A, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack at all, and you can update your comments again in the future if you have any updates for us all to read. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. You can check out my other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel. And you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR. That will be linked down below. Thank you so much again, 1A, and take care. Hello, 2B, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The cards pulled here are 8 of Cups in reverse, the Death card in reverse, the World in reverse, And then for the oracle cards, these two cards, no, not past life cards, sorry, the Angels of Abundance cards. There's two of them for you. So y'all are lucky for that. They both came out the same time and I felt like I needed to use both of them. And I think after looking over the cards before turning on um this for the video for you all, I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. So those don't have any guidebook for them, but it says cooperation instead of competition. What's yours is yours and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete, as there's an abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. And then we have block out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention, so it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. And I will continue to talk about those as we go through this reading. Excuse me. I did just eat lunch. I might have to clear my throat a little bit throughout this. But anyway, and then we have owl omens, pay attention to signs. We have 53 opposition confrontation, 21 divine feminine. The frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. So there's different things coming through, but I just got to start out with saying a lot of y'all are in romantic relationships or have recently gotten out of any romantic relationship. And this person is just not good news. Not, at least, could just be you're incompatible. But I think Spirit is really trying to tell you stop. With 53 opposition here, too, it makes me think you don't even get along with this person. By the way, this could apply to a friend or family member and stuff too, but first I want to talk about romantic relationships. Because I think some of you are in a romantic relationship, you know that you need to end it, but you are refusing to end it, but you know that it needs to come to an end, and Spirit has been trying to send you signs that this does need to come to an end. And Spirit is sending you, signs in many different ways. Oh yeah, I forgot to read what's on here. So we have angel numbers 0, 3, 8, 21, 53, and 88. And I actually have my angel numbers book over here, and I'll read from what's in there for these. And I don't even know if 0 is in there, but circles, infinity, karma, past life patterns, plus connections. With endings comes new beginnings. Breaking cycles promotes happiness and abundance. Spirit would like you to leave certain situations and cut ties with people. Notice where you feel drained. Pick up on your body's cues and sensations. The more you act and speak with love, the more abundance and clarity flows to you. Yeah, so I'll continue to reference those, but uh what was I even saying as I continue to speak? I was talking about, oh yeah, some of you maybe are in romantic relationships that you need to get out of and you're just not. I don't know why, except for that a lot of you could feel like it's past life connections here. If you feel like there's not really a clear reason why, that's probably the reason why. I would really sit and, if you believe in past lives, ask yourself if you believe in your heart of hearts and your soul of souls, um, that this is a past life connection. You might have a lot of synchronicities just with this person in general, and that can be a clue that if you've had similar upbringings or you've gone through similar things, that you may have had past lives together. Some of you have ended this romantic relationship, but you are wanting to go back to this person. You're thinking of being with them again. And Spirit's saying you have got to let this person go. With the opposition card, it makes me think that y'all are not a good match, or you did not, or you did not get along together anyway. Like you probably fought a lot, or you just had I see a lot of disagreeing viewpoints, like not being compatible in terms of what your beliefs are. So it's like, it's almost like, why are you with this person? Again, some of it is just karma. I think a lot of trauma bonding. We have death card here too, so it's like Some of you maybe connected over the passing of a loved one. It could have been a shared friend, could have just been like similar circumstances with both of one of your parents, like your mom and their dad both passed away from like a specific form of cancer or something. There's something that's connecting you to this person. And if this is not romantic in nature, it of course could be anybody else, a close family member or a close friend. And you know who it is who I'm talking about. Think about when your life is drained. I mean, one of the cards, I don't remember which of these Angel Abundant cards, but it talked about, was it on here? Anyway, uh, there's draining energy. Even if the other person isn't a bad person, I mean, this could even be you. For some of you, actually, some of you could be what's causing the stubbornness and you need to work on yourself, but because we do have divine feminine too, and so I feel like, well, with that, I think it's more so about having to nurture yourself right now, but anyway, I digress. So, where was I at? Oh yeah, so a family member, some of you have very karmic ties to a family member that you need to, uh you could just have boundaries with them, but there's a feeling that you need to kind of just stop talking to them in general, if you feel comfortable to do so. Uh, yeah, it feels like a very toxic tie there, even with a friend. I don't care how long you've known this person. I mean, with the world in reverse, it seems like this is somebody who you could have known for a long time, or somebody who occupies, who has recently even just occupied so much of your life. Maybe you spent a lot of time with them. Spirit is saying you need to leave that person behind. It is not good for you. Literally opposition here. You need to stop. Spirit wants for you to stop. Like, I feel like Spirit is getting angry. There's a lot of dark energy here. It's like Spirit is like, stop it right now. We don't want this for you. We keep trying to sell. I mean, even look, owl omens, pay attention to signs. Also, a lot of you may get bird feathers or see a lot of blackbirds. That's something I didn't write down. A lot of you specifically, I was getting imagery of, even though I know it says owl. You could see a lot of owls as well. It's probably harder to see them. Oh, now my cat came in here because I was talking about the birds. Uh, but I was getting imagery of a lot of blackbirds, so you might feel very drawn to blackbirds right now. You might see a lot of blackbirds. They might hang around your car or your home a lot, your workplace, anywhere. Or they may come about a lot when you're thinking about a certain person or when you're around a certain person that I'm thinking, talking about for this situation. Here comes my cat up to the microphone. I don't know if you could hear that. I have the noise reduction on, so anyway. Uh, for some of you too, this is indicative of needing to leave like a workplace environment, needing to leave a job. Some of you have been getting signs from spirit that you need to leave and find somewhere that's I want to say I don't know why, somewhere that's safer and more healthy. So yeah, some of you need to I don't get the sense that it's necessarily change career paths. For some of you, that could be. There's more so a sense of the workplace environment that you're in, a lot of you, but either of those could still apply. But really, yeah, workplace environment, you may need to leave or go elsewhere or like report things to HR because something doesn't feel right with at least one specific person there. And there are other situations too that could be involved. Uh, like outside of it being a person you need to walk away from, like there's other situations that could be involved here. I can't really think too specifically though. It could be that with the death card in reverse, some of you, oh, and the world in reverse, some of you feel like you need to move, especially if you are grieving the loss of a loved one or if you have separated from somebody and maybe you've lost friends because of that or people view you differently. For some of you, this indicates that spirit has been telling you it's time to move on in the form of physically moving. And that could be because your energy is opposing the energy of any grief or trauma that has taken place where you are currently located. Yeah, interesting. Um, oh, what was I gonna say? I feel like I want to keep talking about the birds. So yeah, a lot of blackbirds. You could also see feathers, specifically a lot of blackbird feathers. Be on the lookout for those, especially at a park. If you go to any parks anytime soon, look out for those, or on like your windshield, near your window, in your backyard, near your patio. I really get a sense that you could find a lot of blackbird feathers. And blackbirds, to me, well, I know ravens in here, and ravens symbolize power. Let me look up the raven. Well, at least I think it's in here. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Trying to keep yourself little by denying your power so you won't be a threat to anyone merely keeps you in a false bubble of safety. And it talks about for the additional associations, shadow, insight, prophecy, shapeshifting. Um, and it talks about synchronicities, yeah, like the signs spirit sends you. But yeah, magic, own your power. I think a lot of you are scared to leave certain people or certain situations. So yeah, what I was talking about with safety, I feel like really does resonate here, where a lot of you, for some reason, feel unsafe to leave the situation, or you're just like really scared of what will happen. Some of you, maybe it's just because you're afraid of being alone. There could be certain repercussions, like maybe you've been trying to find a job, but you just haven't found one yet. I want to look at this card again, though, cooperation instead of competition. I think that a lot of you need to understand and recognize that there are people who are there for you who you've never even met yet. There are people who will be there to uplift you and who share more similar beliefs with you. People who, if there's any traumas you have to talk about, there's people who will be there for you to open up to them. For some of you, this could also include that you need to see a therapist. uh, yeah. And with blackout distractions too, I'm really the distracting energy to me is reading as being very draining energy. So that's part of what I was talking about in here with notice what you feel in your body and where. Oh, notice where you feel drained. That's where yeah, okay. And you pick up on your body's cues and sensations. So notice how you feel when you're around certain people, or notice how you feel when you're in certain situations, or when you're at work, wherever. Think about how it is that you feel, because a lot of you are actually very intuitive. Birds are very like intuitive creatures. When I think of birds, I think of air sign energy, which those people strong air sign placements aren't necessarily intuitive, but birds are like literally the messengers between, oh, I almost got chills, between this world and the other world. So I feel like, ooh, I don't know why that like took me aback. Maybe birds are just so significant for you. There could be other birds that you relate to more, but I would also look up more in depth the meanings behind owls, because owls are more, they tend to be more in isolation as well. And so I think also this is a time of needing to be more in isolation. I think this is pretty much a theme across everybody like everybody across all the piles needs to be like to themselves or in isolation to some capacity. For you, I think you need better relationships in your life, right? And you also need people who aren't enablers for this type of dynamic that's happening in this relationship of some sort. But yeah, I just keep seeing an owl out in the forest, like at night. For you, I think you need to go on like a retreat somewhere, honestly. Going on a mini retreat for a weekend or for a day. For some of you too, like I don't know why I'm getting spa treatment. Doing something like that, deep tissue massage or like a full day spa thing though, that sounds really lovely. I think a lot of you are holding a lot of tension. And even though we have the confrontation, opposition card here, I think Spirit is saying too that if you need to leave a situation behind or any people behind, you need to cut ties. You don't need to do the most. You don't need to over explain yourself. Just cut the tie and like leave. You don't need to exacerbate, because people are going to try to reel you back in if you're trying to leave them or have better boundaries with them. People are going to try to fight and argue that, and I think you're very, why? I just get this scared energy. Like you're like you're very people pleasing maybe. So it's like you'll be willing to do something. And I think you're probably a very caring, nurturing person. I think a lot of you right now are feeling stuck and not knowing much who you are anymore. So you really need to, with what I was going back to with the owl, spend some more time by yourself, but also at the same time, I cannot emphasize enough finding better connections in life. Um, Safe people and because you deserve to feel safe but empowered at the same time, right? And I feel like a lot of you feel probably really small right now. And it can feel really hard, and any karma and past life patterns, it's hard to like break free from those. But there is yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Just finding more time. I think some of you maybe feel like you're always thinking about this certain person or this certain situation. So spirit wants you to find time when you don't have to be with them and you don't have to be with anybody. And find time out in nature. I think that's part of the signaling that spirit has been trying to send you. So try to find time out in nature. I would say that they're wanting you to be like in like woodsy, foresty areas if you can. Even like with a waterfall. If do some of y'all live in Seattle or I mean Washington or Oregon, because that would be a good idea for a lot of you. If not, maybe for the moving part that I was talking about, some of you maybe feel called to move to more of a mountainy area. I feel like that would make a lot of sense. And it's more like isolated in those areas too, but I'm trying to figure out a way to say this to emphasize that you again, you need the connections, but you need time to yourself. But I think right now you don't really get the proper time to yourself because okay, yes, when you're by yourself, you think about this person or this situation. So it's hard. So when you remove yourself from that, I think you'll be able to really reflect. It's really an important time to reflect right now. Because I think yeah, it's a lot of you have been making yourself small or have been focusing more on this person or situation. So you need that time for yourself. With the Divine Feminine, I was talking about earlier how you need to have more time to care for yourself and to show love for yourself. And one way you can do that, Divine Feminine doesn't mean making yourself small and like people pleasing. That's what women and feminine presenting people, for example, get told to believe. But that doesn't mean that that has to be you. That's not actually what Divine Feminine is. It's about owning your power and like whatever it means to you, right? But also that it means not just being nurturing and caring for other people, it means doing that for yourself. And it talks about allowing it to express itself openly and help I oh my god, I cannot read. Allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all creation. That's why being out in nature could be very helpful. But I think a lot of you aren't able to be very creative right now, and maybe it's not safe to be very emotional. Maybe you've been having blocks up. It's hard to cry nowadays. It's okay to cry and express yourself. And it's okay to not be strong all the time either. And for some of you, as well, this could relate more to your energy where you're the toxic person. It's like, okay, what blocks do you have up? And how can you get your emotional side opened up more so that you're not attacking other people and cutting off connections by your actions? I want to talk more. Let's look at what else I had written down. Yeah, breaking cycles promotes happiness and abundance. I very much see this here in nurturing and caring for yourself. And I think, yeah, the last part that I talked about on the screen, the more you act and speak with love, the more abundance and clarity flows to you. A lot of you may think that you're being like keeping the peace, but what you're really doing is denying yourself and denying your ability to express yourself openly or to think for yourself, to love yourself. Like there's so much focus and emphasis on like feeling trapped honestly in this situation where a lot of you if you remove yourself, you'll realize that you can learn to love yourself again or speak to yourself more kindly if other people haven't been able to do that. You deserve to, a lot of you have, I'm feeling the low self esteem, low self confidence. You need to be able to learn to trust yourself and to love yourself, care and nurture yourself. And that is going to be very healing. It's a very healing time and a very reflective time, and a time of silence at the same time of celebration. There's really a stark contrast between those two things, but Spirit keeps wanting me to emphasize that. And also, some of you maybe are codependent with people in general, or maybe just with one person, and Spirit is saying to stop that. They're wanting you to realize that you're fine being a sole individual person. You're fine with being single, or you're fine with not having relationships with everybody you used to love having relationships with. But I'm going to talk about the angel numbers now. So let's see what is in the guidebook. Yeah, I don't even know if 0 is in here, but we will have to see. No, it is not. Interesting. Why is 0 not in here? Is it at the very end? Here, let me go to the very end. It's gotta be somewhere in here. It must be. Okay, well, it's not. I'll just tell you what I know about the zeros. And the reason why I put the zeros on here is because, which I felt very strongly, by the way, it's because of the world being reversed and also the patterns. And that's why circles as well, like infinity, like things repeating throughout lifetimes, lessons that haven't been fully learned, karmic lessons that haven't been fully released, learned, and released. Soul ties that haven't been cut through and released. Some of you may have soul ties you need to find ways to do that. There's different modalities, things you can do, techniques, practices if you look them up. But there's a sense that things keep repeating. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that has happened to you in the past before this relationship or situation, or if there's multiple areas of life that are affected, like, by these kinds of situations right now. Yeah. That's why I had written that down, but yeah, the world. Also 0, yeah, I don't know, just the loops and all that. Let's go to 3 now, though. And the 3 is because, the world and divine feminine are 21, and I'll get to 21 in here as well, but 2 and 1 reduces down to 3, 2 plus 1, and then 3 is also, I think, a very important message for you all as it relates to this stack, because it says 3 harmony, mind, body, and spirit are one. If something in your life is ignored or neglected, everything suffers. The health of the mind, body, and spirit connection is essential in living a fulfilled existence. This is the message from your angels today. Think of what you are doing to nurture all parts of you and where you can do better at listening to the things you have neglected within. And also, when I think of 3, I think of uh the power of 3 is really the power of connection and social connection with people. If you think of 3 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups especially, those are about connection with community, connection with friends, and when this cooperation instead of competition card reminds me of the 3 of Cups very much so. So, Spirit is saying you deserve to live in harmony and that you're able to find that with the right people and to have nurturing, safe relationships. And then we have number 8, abundance. The energy is limitless. There are, oh wait, why did I say 8 again? Oh, we have 8 of Cups, um, in reverse, and yeah, I just felt like I didn't look up 13 on here, but I didn't put it down, but I can still look that up because it's related to the death card. 53, I definitely wrote down because I felt like there was a big connection with that, but 8 and 88 because of, um, the loops, the infinity signs. So 8, abundance. The energy is limitless. There are forces always flowing and moving through and around you. The ones you pay attention to and open to will envelop you in their flow. When you see this number, meditate on what in your life requires development and abundance. Visualize energy coming forth to nurture growth in these areas. So you're allowed to have abundance. You don't have to make yourself small. You don't have to diminish yourself. Make it seem like you're not worthy of things, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I'll go to 13 now, even though I didn't write down. Hope. Nurture yourself. Your angels are aware you're going through a difficult time, yeah. They want you to put your energy into taking care of yourself. Literally what I've been saying. Plant a seed somewhere, you can watch it grow. As you nurture this new life, you're nurturing your own as it gets acquainted with what surrounds you now. And then, what next? Let's go up to 21. Yeah, that should probably be important. Advancement. You're about to level up. The next step is coming, so prepare yourself to receive it. Think of what you need to release in order to do so. Yes, you need to release these relationships or the situation, like walking away from certain people or things. Write it down, and at the next full moon, either burn it or bury it and feel the space open up for what is next. When is the next full moon? I filmed these in advance, but let me. Oh, also, I wonder if 8 is one of the numbers in the guidebook. I'll check after a bit when I get to that. Let me go to the app, the moon app I have on here. When is the next full moon? Is it going to be in like Scorpio or something? That would be cool. Let me see. Wait, when is this going to be? Now I gotta look at when this is gonna be released. Hang in there with me, everybody. Take a breath while I am looking, because I think some of this can be kind of heavy and hard to think through. Okay, got it. Now let me look at the date. Okay, wait, when is this, the next full moon or a new moon? Okay, so the the next full moon, if I'm doing this correctly, should be on September the 7th, which is a Sunday at around midday, is at its fullness. So yeah, September 7th. Show more info. It'll be in Pisces. Okay, that makes sense. I'm a Pisces sun myself, so I know much about Pisces energy. So Pisces is very Eight of Cups energy to me, and I've always said that. Even Death card, this is very escapist energy. So some of you, oh my God, Pisces escapist. A lot of you need to escape the situation, but make sure you're not escaping into oblivion. Make sure you nurture yourself and provide yourself nurturing relationships with others. I have to keep emphasizing that. But yeah, so on that date, Pisces full moon focuses on your intuition as well, connecting with, I wouldn't be surprised if you do any witchcraft or anything on that day. That would be important. Pisces is very intuitive. Some people say the most intuitive sign. But think about the situations that could be a good day to escape the situation, maybe. Prepare and plan until that date. That gives you good time. It's a good time for, yeah, intuitive self-reflecting, also past life work, energy healing work. Yeah, all of that. Focusing on your emotions. Okay, now I gotta go back to this. So now let's go to 53. I haven't read any of these yet in here. Well, 8 I did for the other stack 1, but ooh, 53, self-control. React accordingly. The power lies in you to gain control over your responses in a present situation. Your angels call on you to feel solid in your ability to react appropriately to the challenges in front of you. Several times today, repeat this mantra. I am in control of how I respond. So yeah, some of you make yourself small. Some of you, like I said, also maybe are combative and are more of that opposition energy that we don't want. So whichever one best applies to you, make sure that you don't make yourself small. You don't try to exacerbate your feelings and emotions and make yourself too big. And now let's go to 88 in here. Okay, 88. Welcome riches. State your intention. Infinite abundance is available to you, and your angels are signaling for you to remember this. They want you to elevate your vibration as well as your expectations for what you can receive. Write down an intention you have for the future. State it out loud under the stars during the next new moon. So the new moon, God, I'll go back into the book. Into my calendar. Let's go back into the app. When is the next new moon by the time this will be uploaded? I believe the new moon just happened, so today is actually a good day to still work with that energy as it relates to this. So you are allowed good things, you are allowed happiness, you are allowed abundance, you just have to allow yourself to be at that point. So, uh, yeah, okay, I'll talk about that. No, I'll talk about later maybe if I remember. So the main, I stopped reading the guidebooks by the way, but the main signs that you will be receiving from spirit are more so when you're alone. Also noticing how you're feeling. Intuitively, you will be sent sensations. Also, just like how you will feel anyway. But spirit wants you to trust what you're feeling and thinking when you're around certain people and certain things. Especially look at angel numbers 0. That will be very important, and even 53. 21 and 53, I would say, are very important numbers. I've been seeing 53 a lot lately everywhere too, so yeah, I would focus on those. Where you see them pop up, you'd be like, that doesn't really resonate much with me. 53, how would I find that? Trust. If you open up yourself, and if you also tell spirit to send you certain signals as it relates to the messages, they will. All right, if you're still kind of confused, because a lot of you, I think, kind of are foggy brained right now. You're confused about what to do, how to proceed. But what else was I gonna say? Oh, and also anything about like infinity, like circles. You might feel very drawn to circles, like the imagery on this divine feminine. If you look at the circles, I don't know why. Circles could just be like maybe even just hoop earrings. Like, think about what you're feeling drawn to. It's a time to tap into your body. I think a lot of you have been neglecting your intuition and what you've been feeling. Also look out for the birds and the bird feathers. Okay. And notice any synchronicities that you have with other people that you may need to cut ties with. Because it may just be a past life karmic relationship you need to do that cutting of ties with that person for. Uh, like I talked about earlier, maybe you both had a parent that passed away a certain way, so you feel bonded to them because of that, or you both lost the same friend and you're both close to them. Think about the ways in which you're very similar and the ways in which you're not, and think about why you feel drawn to these people. And if you especially can't think of many reasons outside of like any grief, because you can also, or even just similarities that you have with this person. Outside of similarities, like, oh, this person grew up in this town, or this person went to this college. Think of things that aren't superficial and dig deep and really try to figure out why you feel so drawn to these people. And you may also, I'm getting imagery, like I was getting this earlier too, of rope. For some reason, if you are getting sent signals of like rope or not, that's a sign that you could be having soul ties with people. Also, just for you all, I think you're probably more of the witchy type, or spirit wants you to be more receptive to that kind of energy. I wouldn't be surprised if you deal with flashing lights or like things moving. Or if you tell spirit like, hey, if this statement is true, then can you please have this cupboard open? And then tomorrow when I come down here, if it's open, then I'll know. So working with spirit in that way too, I think like you being collaborative in the signs that are being sent to you, because spirit is trying to send you signs already. So some of y'all, it's also hard like intuitively to pick up on what's going on or to decipher, figure it out. So asking spirit for specific signs, like do this, if yes, do this, if no, and then like you wake up in the morning or whatever. Pulling your own tarot cards I see being very helpful, but also spirit wants you to develop more of that gut instinct. Okay, let's go into the guidebook. I've been yapping. Let's go in here. And my cat keeps walking all over the place. He's like, you're still on this stack? And it's like, yes, I am. Okay, owl, omens, pay attention to signs. To find the answer you're seeking, it's extremely important to pay attention to signs, especially repetitive ones. Yes, synchronicities. These are clues you can see, hear, or feel around you. Sometimes they're subtle, sometimes very obvious. These messages may come through a conversation you overhear, a newspaper. Oh, my cat wants to go in there. Axel Bay. It's okay, honey. You don't need to go in there. He wants to go in the clothes hamper. Anyway. These messages may have come through a conversation you overhear, a newspaper headline you just happen to glance at, a friend calling on the phone, or any number of other ways. The key is to be open at this most auspicious time for guidance in the form of these omens. These are not random occurrences. Although they appear outside of your own skin, they're responding to a call your soul is making, whether or not you're aware of it. These omens are manifestations of spirit's directives, so it's important to keep an open mind, and heart to the cues you're receiving. Don't overanalyze them, but do heed them. By observing with all your senses, the wisdom of the natural world and even the human-made world will speak to you. Oh yeah, and I talked about being out in nature. I think you'll get signs while out in nature too. If you're like, hey, have this bird come swooping down, or, stuff like that. Additional associations: wisdom, shadows, secrecy, magician. Now let's go to the other one. You want to help me read, Axel? He's looking at the book. Okay. When two planets oppose each other across the circle of the zodiac, as the sun and moon do on a full moon, all these moon placements too. Some of you, the synchronicities will be sent through the moon, full moons and new moons especially, so pay attention to the moon. Download a moon app if you can. Both planets will either be in signs of a yang element, fire and air, or yin elements, water and earth, and stare directly at each other across the earth, like partners in a wrestling match. The opposition can feel like a dare or a challenge, like boot camp, where a confrontation pushes everyone to grow. Action. That's a good point, because even if you need to cut ties with people, have better boundaries, it will hopefully allow them to grow too. Action. This is not a comfortable situation, but that's not the point. Look at the situation as a dojo, a martial arts training center, and take the training. You don't have to trust the wisdom of the people you are wrestling with, but you can trust the pattern itself in this great cosmic workout. Practice your best skills, stay centered, and operate from wisdom and strategy instead of emotional heat. Listen for hints on how to improve your style. The obstacles in your way are not there to stop you, but to push you toward your personal best. This situation may be set up as a dichotomy. You or them, love or work, your ideas versus theirs. Question the dichotomy's illusion and look for a third position of resolution, a both and solution versus either or. If the way forward feels truly blocked, look for another path. Sometimes in opposition, particularly in transit, says you shall not pass this way, find another route. An opposition dares you to proceed. Decide if this path is worth the struggle. If it is, grow those skills, hold your ground, and fight for what you believe in. You are being asked to prove to yourself and others that you have the skills needed for the next step. That's right, you have power. Challenge. This situation is an inconvenient growth opportunity, but not a punishment. Decide if it is time to build muscles or to find another path. Gift. This situation offers you a chance to burn through karma. Yes! Burn through karma if you can continually respond with compassion and tough love from your high self. Take the high road. And see, compassion, it talked about that in the Divine Feminine card too, which we are going to get to right now. Craziness, all the synchronicities. Oh, I flipped right to it. All the synchronicities within all this. But yeah, 21 Divine Feminine. Three-dimensional realities based on the duality between opposites and their eternal movement forward union. Oh, also, by the way, 53, page 53 in the book for this too. First page, 53. Sorry, I'll read this again. Three-dimensional realities based on the duality between opposites and their eternal movement toward union. Everything is created in pairs. Male, female, I don't know about that. You can be whatever gender you want. Non-binary, matter, spirit, empty, full, dark, light, and so on. Without the tension caused by the magnetic push and pull of duals, there would be no movement. And without movement, there would be no life as we know it. When the push and pull of opposites is equal, a state of balance is achieved. For humans to live harmoniously with each other, the masculine and the feminine have to reach a state of union. I don't know about that. Both outward in a relationship with each other, as well as inward in a balanced state of heart, mind, and soul. The masculine, feminine attributes inside of all of us have to be fully realized, understood, and expressed. I don't agree with this, by the way. Like, I don't think you have to be completely neutral in terms of your femininity or your masculinity. Some people like to be more masculine, some people like to be more feminine, and that is expressed in different ways depending on who you are. Anyway, now that we are moving into a new energy, the enhanced qualities of these two opposites in human nature are emerging and urging us to let go of the roles we have traditionally assigned in the past, allowing a new masculinity and new femininity to arise. The divine femininity is fluid and receptive. It surrenders and opens, and is able to give way and pull towards galaxies of emptiness and higher consciousness when facilitated by true divine masculinity. This femininity is intrinsically connected to the higher realms and Mother Earth. Yes, see Mother Earth, nature, giving birth to life, ideas, expressions, and dreams. The color pink is associated with the universal love for oneself and others, with sweetness, with tenderness, and care, all attributes that are associated with feminine qualities. Brighter pink brings in an aspect of aliveness, excitement, high energy, and power. There are various elements of the flower of life visible as reference to the three-dimensional reality we are creating here on Earth. The light blue refers to our ability to express ourselves with honesty, tenderness, and kindness. The four stars in the corners refer to our form-based reality. The water in the background is representative of the emotional plane, the realm mostly associated with the feminine. Try this. Oh, and also it says 55 in here for the page number, so maybe I'll look that up too before I end this. Close your eyes and go inside yourself. The feminine nature is to love, nurture, and guide through intuition. Are you allowing this? Are you loving toward others? How about toward yourself? Do you express your femininity without holding back? Take some time tonight to do something loving and special for yourself to spark your femininity. I'll read in the Angel Numbers book real quick for 55, see if that resonates with you all. 55 change. Things will look different. When you ask for what you want, your angels deliver, and that time is on its way. You are being told that your intentions are being taken seriously. Lie in meditation with your hands over your root chakra, the base of the spine. Repeat this mantra. I am ready for what is next. Yep. Yep. Changes are coming. You just have to be open to them happening. Have to be Even if you're not fully ready, be ready. You can prepare yourself. It's okay. You deserve happiness and love. I will leave it at that though. Thank you so much to B for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with the stack, and you can update your comment again in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. You can check out the other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel. And you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR, located in the description down below. Thank you so much again, 2B, and take care. Hello, 3C, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The cards pulled here are Wheel of Fortune upright, the Sun in reverse, and the Four of Swords in reverse. And then for the Oracle cards, I will read from the guidebooks later, but this gratitude list one does not have a guidebook associated with it for the Angels of Abundance deck. But it says gratitude list. Counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. And that says Whale, Soul's Path, honor your soul's purpose. Gemini, cross-pollinate. And 25, emergence. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. And I think actually this card is very good for being next to the Gemini cross-pollinate card. And then on the screen here, I'll go through, and hit these points throughout this reading, but I'll just say what's on the screen as well. Angel numbers 1, there's a lot, by the way. I was getting a lot of different things. So angel numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 22, 25, and 66. And then the times 3:33, 10, 10, and the early morning and late at night. We have practice gratitude to show spirit your awareness of the situation. Focus on the positive instead of only the negative. See how far you've come. And then in bold, acknowledgement equals power. Focus on the journey, not the outcome you desire. I said that for stack 2 as well. Spirit is sending you signs that you are on the right path and not to push it. Practice patience and silence. Intuitive insight through meditation and manifesting. Feel in your gut the signs you're receiving, or trust your intuition. Share your ideas with others and see how doors open for you. Also, because of the imagery we have here as well, well, I don't know why. I feel like spring and summertime, for some reason, resonates strongly with all of you. So you could be born during those times. Oh, I think, yeah, Gemini season is in the spring. But, oh, it's still summertime by the time this is uploaded, though, so yeah, it's a good time, spring and summertime, to focus on these issues at hand, any issues you have, but specifically anything that relates to what I'm about to talk about. And more specifically with whale here, I feel like a lot of you could feel drawn toward the beach, but also we have bees here. So I think animals and creatures you could probably feel very drawn to. Specifically here, though, we have whales and we also have bees. And also in the sun, we have the horse there. You could feel drawn to horses too. I think horses actually could be very good symbolism for you all. But, okay, I will just get into it. I remember when I pulled the cards for this stack, I was getting a lot of different messages. It was hard for me to, like, sit still. And I'm like, oh, it makes sense because we have the Four of Swords in reverse. So I feel that a lot of you are at a point right now where Spirit is trying to tell you, and I had written this down on the screen, that you are on the right path. You're doing many of the correct things. You are doing proper planning. You are working hard towards something, or you are manifesting something that is meant for you. But Spirit is saying that you're doing it too much. With the Sun in reverse and the Four of Swords in reverse, you're focusing too much on a certain priority or on a certain outcome that you want to have happen, a certain person you want to manifest, a certain career you want to manifest. Really just, it seems like your dream life in general, but especially think of the things that make you money, so career. Also, for some reason, where you live could be involved, I'm being called to say. But I think a lot of you are putting so much effort into the future that you're not really focusing on the present. And you aren't, even with the gratitude list here, I'm glad that that was pulled because it seems like you're not grateful for how far you've already come. all the work that's already paid off in the present moment or in the past. It's like, if you really sit and think, it's like, wow, I've really come a long way. I don't think it's just as it relates to the situation. Like, so let's say you're working towards graduating and you're working really hard in college and you're getting good grades, and then if you were to sit there and like take notice, like, hey, I've actually done really good for myself. I deserve to give myself a break. I'm not talking about just moments like that. I'm talking about life in general. Like, I think you're somebody who you're always looking for the next thing, and with the Sun in reverse and the Four of Swords in reverse, that makes me think burnout. So I think a lot of you could be, or recently have been, or soon will be, burnt out to some capacity where it feels like you're putting so much energy and focus. So it's like you don't have any energy or focus to give anywhere else in your life. And I'm really glad that Gemini was here too, because I think part of the reason that it was pulled is because you need to spend more time with friends and like coworkers. You need to spend more time with people outside of this goal that you have, and without just having this goal in mind. You need to be able to get inspired by just everyday life. And a lot of you maybe do hang out with people, but are you really actually hanging out? Are you present in those moments, or are you preoccupied with other things in your mind? Are you thinking so much about other things? Oh, I need to go back to this. Like, let's go back to that example of college, right? And let's say you have a lot of work you gotta do. But let's say you already are ahead of the ball game and people are like, hey, we haven't seen you in a long time, let's hang out. And so you're like, fine, I will. Only for an hour, and you do, but it's like you're there at the restaurant and you're not thinking at all about them. You're just like, okay. And then as soon as it's done, you're like, okay, I gotta get right back to it. Spirit doesn't want you to think about that. They understand that you're working hard, they understand your ambitions, and they think that you have great ambitions, you have great goals and visions for yourself. They really actually love those, but they don't like how you're going about it. They don't like how you're putting only all of your time and energy into that. As it goes, if you put all your energy into one basket or all your eggs into one basket, I don't know how the saying, how does it go? As it's a saying. Well, I don't even know what the saying. But if you put all your eggs in one basket, what about all the other baskets, I guess? That's just the imagery I was getting though, putting all the eggs in one basket. But then you don't give yourself enough energy for other areas. And spirit wants for you to have energy for other areas. Also, if you're focusing too much and you're hypervigilant too much on one specific area of your life, especially if it relates to, oh, my cat is hitting the microphone with his tail. Sorry. Oh, he's gonna jump up on the chair. Oh, now he's gonna scratch the chair. You gonna scratch the chair? He's scratching. Still scratching. There we go. So, where was I even at? Oh, also with the Wheel of Fortune, it's circular. The sun is circular too. It feels like that you're like on a roll. A lot of progress is being made in a certain area of your life, but and I think a lot of you have also evolved yourselves. I want to say like you've worked really hard on toning or honing in on who you are, but you're not able to express that right now because there's other areas you're focusing so much on. And so as this kind of saying goes, like the rewards won't be as sweet, they won't be as nice, they won't feel as rewarding if you don't focus on the journey and in the present moment. I don't know what I'm trying to say with my sayings, but like seriously, the outcome that you wish for, let's say it happens. If it happens at this moment or sometime soon, you won't actually be ready for it like you think you are. Maybe you are going to be ready for it, but emotionally you'll be so drained. It's like, okay, it'll feel more like a relief that something's over. Spirit doesn't want you to think like that. When this goal, this dream, this vision happens for you, they want for you to be happy and to feel that in the moment. But right now, if it were to be achieved for you, you wouldn't actually feel true happiness. You'd be like, okay, well, finally, like, whoa. A lot of you need to focus on your patience. So that's also why I think the times were showing up and also a lot of angel numbers were showing up, because I think for a lot of you, the synchronous signs you'll be getting more than any of the other stacks are through time and number. Some of you could deal with a faulty clock as well, or you just feel drawn to look at the clock during a certain time. I think too, Spirit is trying to send you the message that you should set alarms on your phone for taking breaks. I think a lot of you aren't good at taking breaks. Or if you're taking a break, it's hard for you to even get motivation to go back to what you're doing. Some of you, not as much of you, but some of you, right? I know that that can relate to a lot of people in general, though. So Spirit wants for you to set an alarm, whether it's to take a break or to get back to work or both. And that would be really important. And focusing on when you decide to set the alarms too. Oh my God, now I haven't looked at my computer, like, during any of the readings, like, at the time, but I just looked right now. I felt drawn to look, see? And trusting your intuition. I looked and it's 3:33. And look, times 3. Oh my god, I could literally cry. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so teary-eyed right now. Ooh, powerful. There's a lot of energy with this stack, so I'm actually not surprised. Okay, Spirit, I manifest abundance and a good, happy, and healthy life. Thank you. Love you. Ooh. Interesting. I swear, I, like, never look at the time on my computer. For some reason, I just decided to look. Like, I didn't even decide to, it just, like, happened. So, yeah, the time 3:33, very important for you. That's crazy. So 3, specifically 3 in the time 3:33 or just 33. Yeah, 3:33. I can't talk. 3:33, and I think I looked exactly when it turned 3:33 too, because it's still 3:33 as I'm looking at this. Okay, it just finally turned 3:34. That is absolutely crazy. Maybe I need some of this messaging too. But, 3:33 and 3:33. Okay, important numbers for you all, I think. I really do. Oh, and you're the 3rd stack. That's amazing. Also, I was getting the imagery of, you know the saying, like, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, like, Holy Trinity, but for you, I think the Holy Trinity, there's also the saying of, like, mind, body, and spirit, and I think, like, spiritually, you know what's oh, yeah, wheel, soul's path. Honor your soul's purpose. A lot of you are on your soul's path. A lot of you are tapping into what it is you're meant to do, and you know what you're meant to do in this lifetime. For career and outside of career, right? You know what you're meant to do, who you're meant to be. So that's all good to go. Wait, what did I say? Mind, body, and spirit? Yeah. And I think for mind and body though, those things aren't really in balance and matching up with. So I think spirit also wants you to have a balance between those things, mind, body, and soul. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating well enough? Some of you are not doing these things. Focus on that. And also focus on mind. Are you so preoccupied with this thing? Is it hard for you to feel motivated right now because you're burnt out? So I'm getting that spiritually things are all good for the most part, but mind and body. So mind, body, soul, mind, body, soul, mind, body, soul. That's something to focus on. And spirit's probably sending you signals about that, about incorporating or in balancing out all 3. So focus on any point in the day and say, okay, how am I feeling today? Or at the end of the day, how did I feel today? What could I do better to balance all of these things out? And spirit will send you signs if you don't really know where to start. Or if you're doing things correctly, like, hey, spirit, is this enough sleep? And like maybe you'll get like the 3:33. I don't know, but anyway, craziness. uh there's something I was gonna say too. Then I got distracted by the 3:33. Maybe that was meant to happen, I guess. Hmm. But yeah, a lot of you need to take more breaks, more breathers. Because you're not focusing enough on yourself. You're focusing on the external things outside of you. There's only so much you can do and control. Some of you do have control issues too, so don't try to control too much. Focus on the present moment. A lot of you need to do that. And you'll probably get signs and signals to prevent you from, like, I think there could be delays or something that sets you off. Like maybe your computer starts malfunctioning, you're not able to finish a project or whatever. Think about stuff like that where I think for a lot of you too, and Gemini deals with technology, so I didn't write this down, but a lot of you could deal with technological interferences. And that could be a way that spirit is telling you to take a break, or they're sending you messages through what you're watching or consuming, writing down. So pay attention and listen to your intuition in those moments about what spirit's trying to tell you when you're getting um issues with that. Also, Gemini is very much Mercury energy, so during Mercury retrogrades, I think spirit especially wants you to take more breaks if you can. Try not to do too much, not to overexert yourself. You're more prone to injury probably too. Also things like in your algorithm that get sent to you in social media, maybe they're like not like focus on the things that aren't typically in your rotation of the type of content you get on social media, like on Instagram, if you're scrolling through and you see posts that are sponsored, it's like I've never seen this and it's not anything I've ever seen before, like any type of company I've ever seen before, and you're like, maybe I'll look into what this company is about. I don't know. Right? Um But there is a big emphasis I have to say again, how being with like, spend time alone. This is a big theme throughout all the stacks, but spend time alone to recharge and energize yourself. But then also energize yourself through fun and through play and through social connections and also networking. Some of you, it will apply that you will need to network as it relates to your career. So Spirit is saying don't just do things alone, do things with other people. But I'm really getting the sense that it's more so in terms of like freeing yourself from your responsibilities and having fun, letting loose, and not like, that's your social battery is important. That will help with your mind aspect of the mind, body, and spirit. So yeah, that'll be very important as well. I will read the numbers in here. There's a lot to get through. So let's go to angel number 1. Why did I write down 1 again? Why did I write down 1? Oh, I think it's because wait, let me get to here first. Let me go to I'm looking in my phone now to see if any of the numbers from the pages from the oracle cards reduced down to 1 or anything. It's interesting too because we have did I write down number 22? Yes, I did. So I don't really feel drawn to the number 2 for you all, but 22 is in here, which does reduce down to 4, which is also one of your numbers. 22 is one of the page numbers though. And then interesting. Also, 11 could be important, and that's 1 and 1, so I'll read that too. I didn't write that down, I don't think, but emergence, 25, in the book, in the guidebook, the first page is 65, which reduces to 11. Wait, no, it doesn't. Wait, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it does. Okay. Oof, duh. So I'll read that one too. Let's just get right into it. I don't know why. I think oh, you know why? I think I wrote down number 1. I just felt drawn to do it, especially because of the whale souls path. And it seems like you're on a very determined journey to build your life, which makes sense because it says 1 architect. You have the ability to create. Your world is shaped and altered by your thoughts and words. Right now, you are creating, and the powerful forces of the universe are working with you. Remind yourself of this by repeating this mantra. I am the universe is me. So try not to worry too much about doing everything yourself. The universe is also working alongside you. Like for anything, if you're like, hey, I have to like wait and be patient, because some of y'all need to work on your patience. Spirit is like, okay, well, you gotta take your breaks, right? But and then the other part of that one is the universe, is spirit being like, hey, we're working on it on our end too. You can't overwork yourself, because also overworking yourself or focusing too much on a certain area of your life, spirit will then be like, well, if you're trying to work hard towards something or you're trying to manifest something, then that shows that you're not thinking it could happen or that it could be stripped away from you. And spirit doesn't like when people do that. It's not very harmonious. But and speaking of harmony, let's go to number 3, harmony. Mind, body, and spirit are one. If something in your life is ignored or neglected, everything suffers. The health of the mind, body, and spirit connection is essential in living a fulfilled existence. This is a message from your angels today. Think of what you are doing to nurture all parts of you and where you can do better at listening to the things you have neglected within. That's what I was saying earlier. Number 4, foundations. It's time to get back to basics. There are things that, if left under-nurtured, can fall to ruin. Your angels remind you to go back to the foundations of self and take inventory of what is lacking. You can't build yourself up without maintaining all the good work you've already done. Journal today on one foundational part of your life that could use reinforcement. For some reason, I was thinking about that whale card again, Soul's Path. I was talking about the beach. If you don't have access to a beach, try go. For some reason, the water feels very important. So going to a river, a lake, if you can, spending time listening to the sounds, and if you can't do any of that, or like rain, looking up rain sounds on YouTube, looking up waterfall sounds on YouTube, I feel like that will be very healing for you all as well. A lot of you could have strong water sign energy as well, but the sun is also connected though to I always feel it's connected to Leo just because in astrology it is, but yeah. And also creativity, creating. Anyway, let's go to number 5. Speaking of Leo, 5, growth. The only thing that stays the same is change. All the world around you shifts and moves. It's time to get flexible. Change is inevitable, and your peace comes not from the stability of things outside you, but also from that which is created from your foundations within. Your angels remind you to make inner peace a priority so that when change comes, you know that you're tethered to something it cannot touch. Meditate today with a visualization of your inner peace tying you firmly to the universe. Yeah, a lot of you do need to be more grounded, and there's a lot of big things coming for you. We even have the emergence card here, so there's a lot of things coming for you. But that emergence card too talks about being more innocent and childlike. So a lot of you need to release some pressure and not take the potential outcome or current outcome so seriously. You need to be able to let loose and have fun and enjoy yourself. And so with those changes, if you show that you're enjoying yourself, you'll enjoy the situation more, and if there's any abundance you're wanting in your life, it'll come to you a lot more easily. 7, fear not. Do not let fear control you. See, that's what I was saying too. Some of you have just control issues as well. Learning and growing come with new contexts and opportunities. You are feeling called to do new things without always knowing whom or what you can trust. Seeing this number reminds you to be spontaneous and courageous, but also smart and cautious. It's okay to have a backup plan. When you see this number, create a list of what you are scared of and what you can do to mitigate those fears. And then we have 10, clear thinking, cleanse your thoughts. Angels are asking you to declutter your mind of things that are not necessary for your forward movement. Thoughts and emotions need to be productive, or else they can be problematic. Reflect upon a repetitive thought or emotion you've been having. Ask yourself if this thought or emotion is necessary, kind, and productive. And being productive doesn't mean being overproductive, because that isn't actually productive. If you're being hypervigilant and only focusing on one thing, that actually isn't productive. It's counterintuitive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then 11, the awakening. You are being called to attention. Your angels want to send you signs, but first they need to make sure you'll be paying attention. This number, that's the thing, you're so not paying attention to the sign. You need to focus on your intuition as well. You're just so focused on this one area of life, this one thing, this one person. The angels want to send you signs, but first they need to make sure you'll be paying attention. This number asks you to notice the world around you so you don't miss the important messages coming your way. Ask your angels for confirmation after you see this number. Repetition is their way of getting your attention. Okay. And then number 22, believe. You're building the life you want. Your angels are in direct communication with you. This number is a powerful message that your life is being created with their divine assistance. You are in a space of high vibrational energy right now. Yeah, I can feel it. Repeat this mantra. I believe in myself as I grow. And that's the thing. I believe in myself as I grow. It's not just about growing in terms of finances or in terms of career, in terms of success or wealth or how many things you have or how big your house is or how fancy your car is. It's not about those things. We also have 4 in here, which talked about getting back to basics. So focus on basic necessities first and then build your way up, you know? Because a lot of you are big dreamers, but I do feel, yeah, a lot of high energy, a lot of um momentum. So you're on the right path. You just gotta trust that the universe is working alongside you, but only if you also allow time for yourself to grow in other areas of your life, emotionally and mentally, and with people, connecting with people. 25, major decision. You already know what to do. Your soul is calling out for change, and you will have to make a choice as to how to go about that. Have confidence that in your heart you already know the answer. Repeat this mantra. I will make the right decisions at the right time. I don't know specifically how that would relate to some of y'all. I guess maybe just the momentum only builds so much, and then you have to make a decision for what to do next. There does appear to be changes coming up, so you just have to, I think, determine how to go about those changes. And then we have 66 in here. It says, responsibility, create your own response. Wait, is there an element? Okay, no. Even though your life can present many challenges, people, and situations that are out of your control, how you respond to them is always your choice. You're being asked to reflect on the small ways you can keep your responses as choices you make rather than automatic reactions. I think, yeah, some of you are just, or a lot of you are really on autopilot right now, so it's like you have maybe default answers, default way of living right now, and you're not getting outside of your comfort zone, stepping outside of your box. For a lot of you, that means in your personal life, not just career life. You know, you gotta and Wheel of Fortune itself is all about the changes happening too, right? And so if you want to be in that positive flow that it seems like your career or your success or your more professional life is headed in, you have to be able, if you want to be able to maintain it, you also have to create that balance with those personal relationships. Responsibility doesn't mean actually taking on more responsibilities for you all. It means prioritizing other parts of your life as well and making them not, don't look at them as responsibilities, but look at them as opportunities for growth. And that will help with any of the responsibilities you do have already. So if somebody asks you to hang out, don't just automatically be like, no. Be like, okay, what can I do to also prioritize other things in my life? What can I do to set some time aside for myself to be around this person or around these people? Because I'm serious, being around people, having fun will re-energize you, it will reinvigorate you. And also, when you go back to any work or career, it will allow you to have more energy for that as well. And you'll feel more inspired. You'll be ready to go back. You won't be dreading going back to like any of this. I really keep seeing like a college student. So a lot of you probably could, or at least some of you could be in college, but I'm just saying something you work really hard for. This doesn't even have to be career, right? But think of something as it relates to like professional life. I don't see this being something you do day to day with like friends or family. It's something you're working hard toward accomplishing or something you continue to work hard for, like if you're a business owner of some kind. But I forgot what else I was going to say, but I will leave that there. And then I will read in the guidebooks here. So I think whale is the second to last card in here. Yeah, because the last one is wolf. Oh, isn't there zebra? I guess not. That must be a different one. Whale, soul's path, honor your soul's purpose. It's time to stop fooling yourself and get moving on your soul's path. Pay close attention to the subtleties of your experience and listen very, very carefully to those urgings that are begging you to honor the deepest truth of who you are. Not what you think everyone else will approve of, but the path that heeds the voice of your soul that's been calling to you since before you were born. And I think a lot of you are already acting upon that or are thinking about acting upon that because it seems like it just takes up so much of your life. Every experience up to this point in your life has shaped you, and even the lives that you've lived before exert their karmic influence. At this point, you can no longer live your life driven solely by ego. Instead, it's important to consciously and consistently attune to your most profound sense of self and align with Spirit's intent. It will take courage and faith to dive into these depths, but you have indeed funded the power and the strength to do so. Claim the destiny that you know is yours and act on it now. Additional associations: migration, devotion, communication, soul memory. Yeah, I think I talked earlier, some of you maybe I'm thinking about the other decks, but you may need to move as well. That could help advance your career or your professional life is moving. But I think a lot of you just relate to this because you're already feeling drawn to this path or you are likely already taking part in it. With the Four of Swords in reverse, it can indicate, and with the Sun in reverse, it can indicate that you haven't gone on this path yet because you feel that it's not meant for you, because you feel that you're not worthy. But Spirit is saying that there is an abundant path here, the Wheel of Fortune. This is your destiny. This is your calling, what you feel called to do. Whenever it relates to what you feel called to do professionally or as in careers, pay attention to the signs Spirit sends you for those things as well. I'm hearing birds chirping, so you might hear birds chirping at certain points if you're like asking the birds to like talk with you, or Spirit to talk to the birds to you. If you're like, hey, how does this sound? What about this? Communication here too. Think about Gemini is very much involved in communication. Think about the words your friends say to you too, because maybe you'll talk to one friend group and then somebody says something and then you talk to another friend group and they say the same thing. Anything involving words, like music on the radio, having the same favorite song as somebody you meet that you're networking with or that you just, go on a date with. Think about the synchronicities that are explicitly stated and connect them together and see how and why they are connected. Okay. And then we have 3 Gemini cross-pollinate. It says, with its symbol of a pair of twins conversing, Gemini asks us to weave a web of connections and build networks with humor in all forms of communication. Also with Gemini, some of you just need to let loose. I know I already said that, but you need to allow yourself to have that fun, okay? This mutable air sign is ruled by Mercury and is connected to the lungs, shoulders, hands, and nerves. Gemini's purpose is to disperse ideas like milk thistle on the spring winds, cross-pollinate ideas like bees buzzing over the flowers. The sun shines here May 21st to June 21st, relatively speaking. Action. Words are at the heart of the issue you are facing, and not just any words, but real dialogue. If you feel tension in the situation, see what is blocking the lines of communication and open that aperture. Listen to the grapevine. Communication was in the whale, too. Gather and share information. Bits of truth may float in on gossip. Explore social media sound bites. Yeah, I think I said that before too, but I'm going on social media, like looking at the words, like sounds, words that would be important for you for any, like, insights or, like, intuitive insights or creative inspiration. And any other way to get the word out. Talk to people as if they are siblings, true equals. If something is bothering you, find a place to unpack it. Get it on the table and take a good look. Then talk it over in depth with a friend or therapist or write in your journal. Trust the process of self-expression to help get to the root of the problem. That's the thing too. A lot of you would really benefit from journaling. That's another way in which you'll get signs. I said this for one of the other stacks, but journaling and or automatic writing will give you intuitive insights. So then you'll see synchronicities in those as well. Also, I think through books, if you're reading any books, whether fictional, non-fictional, self-help, self-care, think about the synchronicities in certain words that maybe stick out to you or certain chapters, or maybe you feel drawn to a certain page. That's a good idea. If you feel drawn to just like a random number pops into your head and you open up a book at the library or Barnes and Noble or something, or just at your own in-home library bookshelf, um, flip to a random page and then maybe you'll get information and insights there, and that's a way for spirit to communicate with you. That's a really good way to get those signs from spirit as well, especially any synchronicities between multiple different books. However, assume anything you say will be repeated. Gemini scatters seeds, is not concerned with privacy or individuality, and is not necessarily loyal. I don't know about Yeah, I guess that's true. Challenge. The situation may be more complex than you think, so be willing to dig in. Gemini energy can be shallow or oversimplified, as it encourages breadth rather than depth, so you have to add the depth consciously. Yes, add the depth consciously. Gift. Gemini's gift is an open mind and a sense of universal siblinghood. We are all in this together. The soul knows how to find itself back in equilibrium if we just let all parts communicate. Help the unexpressed feelings, persons, and elements within the community be heard. And I think for you, it's that you probably the communication piece, like, I just think a lot of y'all haven't been communicating with people. You've been so focused on your own self. So communicating with other people, I'm telling you, will help you, and you'll get signs from spirit through these people, for what to do next or how to live life in the moment, what decisions you should make. Gemini is also very indecisive, so you may struggle with making just even simple decisions. So spirit will be sending you signs for what first comes to you. Will probably be you know what, with Gemini, it makes me think because it's very scatterbrain energy. So sometimes what you first hear in your mind isn't the truth. So I actually think for you, it's about getting past that. Like if you're sitting there meditating, let all the chatter go away, and then wait until like there's a silence, and then see what pops in and what visuals you get as well, but mainly the words you hear or see. Okay, not dynamic, sorry. 25, emergence. Emergence can be described as the process of coming into being, the arising of something that wasn't there before. When referring to personal development and growth, the emergence of a grander expression of ourselves is often a result of extensive inner work and deep release. In order for real personal growth to happen, we have to be willing to let go of existing belief systems, frameworks, and labels that define and limit us. That's really being shown here by that Four of Swords in reverse. Recognizing potential can take us on an exciting inner journey of discovery and integration. From this place of openness and discernment, we can truly unfold and emerge as a new human being. That's the thing. If a lot of you are afraid to, like, look at yourselves, think of it as a way to add to your abundance. Like, this will help me grow and expand, and more abundance will flow into me because I have more space. I've allowed more space by releasing the other parts of me or the other energies that don't need to be here anymore. The deep and rich blue at the core of this activation represents the drive for clear expression. All about the words and expression. I'm telling you, the synchronicities will come through words, through phases, through phrases, through quotes, like books, magazines, text on social media, text messages from people, how you communicate with people in real life, like the conversations you have. If you're eavesdropping and you hear something that's synchronous with your life and lines up. Very cool. Okay. Even though I know I didn't say clear expression in terms of like words, yeah, I just still feel like it's important. The purple signifies the insights that come directly from our connection to source and that are now available to be expressed. And yeah, and also what you could hear from spirit, like words. And if you hear somebody like whisper something, then you look, it's like nobody's around me. What is it called? Clairaudience, right? Anyway, that's probably not what it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. And the yellows and oranges indicate the creativity and power with which to do so. Try this. Oh, also I want to say affirmations. any affirmations that come to mind that resonate with you, that will be very powerful. So Spirit is sending you words and phrases to say. Some of you, this will be about crafting your own spell or your own mantra, your own incantation, or your own invocation. Doing that to help bring in spirit, doing that to help ground yourself will be very important. Like writing out something you can say every day, an affirmation or something similar. And you can write it down, you can put it up, and you'll see that spirit will send you different signs intuitively and like just out and about if you do something like that. And think about what comes to mind when you say these affirmations, right? Okay, try this. Take a breath and close your eyes for a moment. What was your "when I grow up I want to be" declaration? Did you realize this childhood dream? What other aspects of yourself would you like to give birth to? Are there any new aspects emerging that you have never expressed before? Keep a journal. Yes, journal, so you are aware of your growth. Um, yeah, and then we have gratitude lists too, like writing out lists, also writing out like a vision board kind of, but writing out what you want to have happen more than visually. There's a lot about words and writing that's very in text. That's very important right now. Super, super important. Like I cannot emphasize that enough. Hopefully you know like what I'm talking about when I'm saying all that, but I'll just leave it at that. Thank you so much 3C for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack at all, and you can provide any updates to that comment if any... Wait, what did I say? You can comment down below if you resonate with the stack, and you can provide any updates in the future on that comment if you'd like, if you have any updates for us. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. You can check out the other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel, and you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR. That will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, 3C, and take care.